It's a face-off, Ashwani Dubey and Touseef Ahmed Khan. Ashwani Dubey, is it targeting or is it a matter of security? And the question that we are asking very clearly is, why oppose accountability? If you've got nothing to hide, why do you need to oppose? If everything is above board, what's the problem?
Anand bhai, constitution, when the constitution says the equality before the law, equality as incorporated in Article 14, prohibition against discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, freedom of speech expression, and Article 21A inserted in 86th Amendment, and also when there is an equality before the law, why there should not be any government supervision for any institution, be it the madrasa, be it the Vedic Pathshala, be it the any other educational institutions which are running under Article 13 of the Constitution of India to supervise. Because at the same time, when you have a constitution and fundamental rights, none of the fundamental right is independent or the absolute. Each fundamental right is subject to public order, morality, health, and law framed by Parliament. When there is a intelligence report which says that there are certain activities which are contrary to the integrity of the country is being carried forward, children are being brainwashed, or some foreign entity is helping them, making them ready, brainwashing them, so that the religious purpose may be achieved, that the government has every right to supervise it. And it is a constitutional right. Even the Supreme Court in Bihar State Madrasa Education versus Anjuman Alec in 1993 said that nothing is beyond the powers of the state. And I think that vendetta politics, or the politics which is being made that we are the minority established institutions, given powers under Article 30 sub clause 1, then at the same time the Constitution, that article also says the subject to public order, morality, and law framed by the state. So nothing is beyond the powers of the state. Whatever is happening within the constitutional framework, and every educational institution, be it the private, be it the government, be it the Vedic, be it the madrasa, or any other religious educational institution, is amenable to the law of the country. Yes, over to you, Anand bhai.
Yeah, because when he stopped the state funding, it was not stopped only for madrasas. It was also stopped for the Vaishnav mutts, or I forget the Assamese term for it. But they were also, the aid to them also was stopped. So they said, if you want to do all of these teachings, the state is not going to pay for it, and you have to tell me who are you, who are the teachers, and you have to show me the source of funds. And if there are private fundings, then you have to see. But recent instances have stirred up the pot a bit. Touseef, we've had a debate on this in the past, and you have also said that you are against any anti-India propaganda or radical propaganda or teaching which is happening in madrasas, but you've also come out with the point that don't brand all madrasas in the same way. 3 or 4 madrasas don't represent all the madrasas. One of the rules also says is that there has to be a distance of at least 3 kilometers between every madrasa. Touseef.
You see, today BJP government, by calling madrasa as a jihadi education under religious garb, is only furthering their hateful and polarizing political agenda. You see, before BJP regime, before independence, it was British regime who was scared of madrasa to their death, because it was the madrasa students who started the revolution, who joined the freedom struggle and started the Reshmi Rumal Tehreek, and it was very much effective. And today it is the BJP who is now spreading this propaganda, and these hateful and polarizing statements are being made deliberately because their eyes on the electoral prospect, the perceived electoral prospect, that if the votes are polarized, it will benefit BJP. That is the only agenda. They are not going to talk about the real issues that the government should be concerned, that the people and the media should ask the questions from the government. They are not going to talk about that. There is no notice about any real issues.
You have taken the political potshot, and you have also said that there is an agenda. But would you agree that there should be a certain level of accountability and scrutiny given the recent occurrences. And if there are terrorist outfits or terrorists being given shelter in madrasas, radical teachings being done, the Quran and the Hadith being misinterpreted or perhaps conveniently interpreted to make it more radical or bigoted in its approach, do you or do you not believe that that needs to be curbed? That should be monitored?
It is a lie that BJP is telling to the people that there is no accountability. It's a completely false statement. Before a madrasa is established, it is established under the aegis of a society which is registered. So how can the government today say that there is no accountability, there is no record, we don't know nothing? They are scaring the people of India. They are saying that terrorist links from across the border are coming. But that's what is supposed to be done. But they are themselves.
That is what is supposed to be done.
Is under the central government.
That madrasas are supposed to be registered. No, one minute. You are saying what is supposed to be done, but what is happening and what's been found on ground is that these madrasas have come up on illegal land, encroached land, with funds which are nefarious, with people who have got no authority to be there, and they've just set themselves up, they've mushroomed. Ashwani, Dubey, do you agree that there is deliberate vendetta, that the BJP is deliberately portraying and calling madrasas jihadi? As far as the Devband and the Reshmi Rumal aspect, I'll come to that. That's another selective representation of history and what happened, but that's a separate point altogether. But as far as the madrasas, Ashwani Dubey.
Anand bhai, I am a student of law. I would cite 3 judgments of the Supreme Court. The judgments which says that the educational institutions, be it the minority educational institutions, funded by the government or not funded by the government, they are subject to the reasonable standards and restrictions put in place by the states. And I think had it been the government and not ratified by the Supreme Court would not have taken in any number of cases, number of instances, they would have said that's a vendetta politics. When there is intelligence report, when there is a report before the law and order ensuring authority that look, some brainwashing is going on, then the state has every right to ensure that nothing which is contrary to the law happens in the state. Now 2, in Secretary of Malankara Syrian Catholic College versus T. Joss and others in 2006, what Anand Bhai Supreme Court says that purpose behind the provisions of Article 30 is the special rights given to minorities in India with the intent to ensure equal rights for them as a majority community of India, but further clarified the granting special rights does not render them an upper hand over the majority community, an upper hand over the law. It is clear. Now, in Ahmedabad St. Xavier's College, State of Gujarat, 1974, the Supreme Court said the spirit behind Article 30 is the moral obligation of the nation towards minority community, but at the same time, respect and freedom and the law, respect to the law must be taught in those educational institutions, and nothing is beyond the powers of the state. When law is clear, none of the fundamental right is absolute. State has right to frame the law. Then where is the problem in calling it a vendetta? That only I can say. Rest the BJP spokesperson may clarify whether is it a vendetta or whether there is really a problem which exists in certain states. And intelligence report says we have seen in past.
It's also about switching now. But point is, nobody is saying anything. If you are illegal, you will be brought down. If you are legal, perfectly legal, you should not have any problem declaring what your source of funds is. And what is wrong in getting a verification done of these teachers and where they are coming from? If their antecedents are proven, there is no problem. You don't want people from Bangladesh coming in and trying to pose as mullahs and maulvis in madrasas here. Why should they be doing it? We've got enough and more scholars who can teach Islam in our country. The other